I need somebody to emerge and serve as our Steeler reporter. Now, the Ed wants the job, and so far he's one of the front runners. And the problem is he doesn't like the Steelers, and in fact he has no confidence in them. And he's predicted a 4-12 record for them this year. He thinks they're not going to be very good.
Then why does he want to be an expert? Then I don't understand. Why does he want to be a fan?
I don't know, but anyway, well, we can ask him that now. He's a man who I met. He's from Las Vegas. He's a 55-year-old man. He's got 4 sons. One is a cop. One is an ex-con. Another is another guy who he just moved out with. Another one of his sons is a telemarketer, and they just moved to Pittsburgh, and so he's trying to get to know the city and everything.
Right.
So anyway, let's go to him now. Ed, welcome back to the Sports Contraption. How say you, sir?
I'm saying everything's all right.
Good, the Ed. Now, usually we like to talk Steeler football with you, of course, but tonight, I really think you're coming from Las Vegas. I'm sure you know that this is like Christmas and New Year's this weekend with the Kentucky Derby and the big fight, the Mayweather De La Hoya fight, of course. Wanted to talk to you about those things and what it's going to be like and get your picks for what's going to go down in these fights. But first, how are things with the lady? You called in last night. He met a new young lady. Who is how old is she again, the Ed?
Well, she told me she's 27. That's what she said, but I ain't seen no ID.
And you're how old again?
I'm 54. I'm about to be 55 because I used to be 53.
Right. So yeah, so you used to be.
I'll be 50. Yeah, I'm 54 right now. But next month, mark it on your calendar. June 14 is my birthday.
So it goes. You were 53.
I'm gonna be the speed limit.
Oh, right. Very clever. Right. Good. So it went like this.
In advance.
It went 53. Then now you're 54, and then in a month you're going to be 55.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
Okay. Good. So now you're with
How old you are?
Well, I'm 36 years of age.
Oh, you still a boy.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, as a matter of fact, the Ed was on last night. He called in, and he was talking about the boy. One of his sons, who he lives with, is 27 years of age. They never had the talk. They never talked about. He doesn't know if his son's ever been with a woman because she's never had a baby.
I never had the talk. That's interesting. My father never gave me the talk.
Is that right?
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. That's great.
Now, the Ed, did your son happen to hear you on the radio last night? Did that come up after the show? That that you guys that you don't know if he's ever been with a woman? Did he tell you that you're wrong and that in fact he has laid down with a woman?
Yeah, he said something about it. He said, "Why you talk about me on your show?" I said, "Ain't my show, it's Dave's." And he said, "Well, you over there talking about I don't have women." He said, "I got a whole bunch of women friends." I said, "Well, I ain't never seen them." He goes, "Because I'm not gonna let you meet them." I said, "Well, how you gonna get married if I can't meet them, and how am I gonna see my grandchildren?" He said, "I don't know."
Now, the Ed, now your son, it was an uncomfortable moment because you met this woman at a 7-Eleven a few weeks back, and your son walked in on you two together, right? You two in a compromising position, right?
I don't know if it was a compromising situation, but I had to put a blanket on her. And I had to tell her, I said, "Look, you gotta cover that up. I don't know. I don't want him looking at all that."
And that was the first time you take it that you're a gentleman, the Ed. From what you've been with a lot of women, but this you take it nice and slow. But you now have officially you've been together in the biblical sense, right?
Well, what do you mean by that? I mean, it was a nice thing. It wasn't nothing bad. You always think something's bad.
I didn't say anything was bad about it.
He's absolutely right about you, Dameshek. You always think something's bad.
No, I think it's nice, and no, I'm glad that you were together, and what do they call that?
I don't love her. I don't tell her I love her. She tried to pull that on me the other day. She said, "Ed, I love you." I said, "No, you don't." She said, "I do." I said, "Well, I don't love you." And she said, "Well, I love you." And I said, "Well, I don't love you."
And yet you still laid her down between the sheets and had your way with her.
They say, what's love got to do with that?
That's true.
Can I ask you a
question?
question?
Do say that.
Can I jump in for 1 second? What kind of lover are you, the Ed? Are you a nice, romantic lover, or is it like my house and it's face down?
Who's that, your son?
That's right. That's David Feeney.
What's his name? What's his name?
His name's David Feeney, and this is the Ed.
What'd he say?
They can't hear me. They still can't hear me.
He just asked what sort of lover you are. You know, are you a tender, sweet lover? Or are you?
I want to know what kind of man he is that he would ask another man that question. You better get away from him, man. I don't know.
That's not a bad point from the Ed.
What are you insinuating, the Ed?
Maybe that crosses a line. That kind of question.
What are you insinuating? Oh, let me put it. What are you hinting at?
You know what? I can't even talk like that. That's just not even nice to say.
Well, the Ed told me last night. The Ed said last night on the show that he shared with this young lady. He said that I asked him if they'd been together yet, and he said that they had ultimated the relationship. So that was nice.
Well, then congratulations. You know what? Congratulations.
All right. Well, listen. We'll talk about ultimating relationships and all that kind of stuff. Plus, I want to get your thoughts on the boxing and the Derby this weekend. So stick around if you don't mind. And any questions for the Ed? Any thoughts on we also still got to get to this movie villain business. So give a call, 412-333-9370. Dave Dameshek, Sports Contraption on 93.7 The Zone.